So David, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. Why is it important to look after yourself in business?
Well, when you're in business, everything starts and stops with you. So it's all about the decisions you make and how you organise your time, how you allocate resources. And small businesses, as we know, particularly in the pandemic, faced a lot of external threats that are always there, but they were really amplified. So a business owner is like a plant. If you don't water that plant, the plant doesn't grow. So it's hard when you're under pressure, and I think business is a unique culture where business owners particularly are focused on doing the best they can for the business. Often, if I think about the business owners I work with, they care about their staff and they want to keep things going, and the person who often gets forgotten is the business owner themselves. So needing to look after them yourself is important.
So David, with our Pre-Accelerator program, we've got a lot of people that may or may not be experienced in business. They're perhaps going to put themselves under pressure with new business ideas. What are the signs to look out for?
Well, it's a fine edge. There's an excitement with doing a new venture, and hopefully, your head's full of ideas, and you can be writing lists and having things that you want to do and get things achieved. And it's that fine balance where that there's an optimal level of performance where it comes to that. But if there's signs where you're getting distracted excessively, you're taking a long time to get through tasks, or you get to the end of the day and you haven't achieved the things you wanted to do, particularly then if you're not sleeping well, you're up at night, you're worried about things, maybe the other side where you're feeling really heavy or you're feeling fatigued. These are all the kind of signs where it might just need a little attention to self-care, or maybe talking to someone, or it might just be that you need to take that time out for yourself to go, put down work and go for a walk, or do something that's a bit more nourishing. To be constantly on all the time is not going to serve you in the long run.
So if none of those things, are working, talking to friends, walks, coffee, where can you go for help?
Well, this is one of the reasons why this program, Partners in Wellbeing, was established for small business, because, well, for a start, any individual, whether you're in small business or not, it's hard to get an appointment to see a doctor these days. So the idea of actually being able to pick up the phone and talk to someone is a really good idea. And we have services like Lifeline and Beyond Blue and things like that. So Partners in Wellbeing was developed to be a little bit more focused on small business. So all the people that work in Partners in Wellbeing are business people as well as counsellors or financial counsellors or business advisors. So they have that understanding, that empathy that they are involved in business themselves, and they may be closer to understanding some of those issues more than, say, a GP or someone down the line on a help service. So those kinds of things where you can pick up like a 1300 number and call, or if you're in the area where I work in Bendigo, I'm based at Be.Bendigo and can support and reach out to businesses that work in our region. So and that's another thing. I think people in regional areas sometimes don't think about seeking help because they kind of have a bit of a do-it-themselves mentality. So that's another reason for having programs like this in regional areas, to encourage people to reach out and not have to do it on their own.
And perhaps with someone that's removed from their community, you don't always want to let people know that you're struggling, and being able to find someone independent could be a great use.
Absolutely, yeah. Because in a small town, you might, I bumped into my GP at a social event recently. So, it's and plus I think the thing is, even more so now, people work at home a lot. It's very easy to become isolated, and it's quite a lonely place when you're struggling with something inside, and maybe you're in a place where you're working with others or you're in social situations. That's the loneliest place, and obviously we want people to think about this earlier, be a little bit more aware of looking after yourself so that the consequences don't get too bad from letting it prolong over a long period of time.
Great. Thank you so much, David. That's fantastic.